friends, welcome back to Rouse Rising. I am Katie, mom to 5 busy kids, and this weekend we're spending time at the Oregon coast. It is sweater weather season and we are definitely staying cozy here. As we drove in today, there was some rain and it has cleared up and the sun is shining. We are prepared for a beautiful sunset. So I'm gonna share with you my favorite sweater weather snacks that I'm gonna feed my 5 kids this evening. And we're gonna start with the recipe for these pumpkin spice energy balls. And then we're gonna finish up with a recipe for this pumpkin spice cream cheese spread that we're gonna have on some graham crackers. We're also gonna mull some cider with some spices, and we're gonna get this house nice and warm so that we can cozy up and watch the sunset. Come along with me and let's check out these delicious fall weather recipes. We had a long, rainy drive from Klamath Falls to Newport here on the Oregon coast. Once we got everything unpacked and settled in, I was all cozied up with my family, and I didn't want to miss out on any of our Oregon coast activities. I got my groceries for these delicious recipes delivered through Instacart. Eliminating this one step in my meal prep has really streamlined my weekend so that now I can jump right into snack prep. We're starting out with half a cup of pumpkin puree. I'm doubling this, so it's gonna look like a lot more. Then we're gonna need a 1/4 cup of almond butter. I would recommend cashew butter or almond butter for this particular recipe. All right, we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. We have 2 teaspoons pumpkin pie spice and 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. We are going to give this a good stir and get all of this mixed up before we add the rest of the ingredients. All right, to this mixture, we are going to add our protein powder and our oats. It smells so good. We're gonna add in 1/3 cup of chocolate chips. Everything well incorporated. And then with wet hands, you can roll these into balls. If your mixture happens to be too gooey, you can pop it in the fridge for a little bit. But what we're gonna do is with wet hands, we're just gonna take these and roll them up. I ended up putting these on a foil-lined baking sheet and just popping them into the fridge just to firm them up a bit. And then what we're gonna do is put them in an airtight container and store these for up to 2 weeks in the refrigerator. Okay, for this next recipe, we are gonna start out with a 1/4 cup of brown sugar in there. Next, we're gonna add 1 cup of pumpkin puree. I'm just using canned pumpkin puree, but if you have fresh pumpkin puree, this is a great way to use that up as well. So we're just adding that in there. Next, we're gonna add 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. And then we're gonna add a teaspoon of cinnamon and 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin spice. Pumpkin pie spice. And then a teaspoon of cinnamon. And we're gonna get this all mixed up and we are going to serve this on some graham crackers, and it's going to be a yummy snack for the kids. All right, this is what it looks like all mixed up. You can crumble a few graham crackers on top, but I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon sugar or cinnamon on top to garnish it. And a little sprinkle of some brown sugar on top. There we go, and the kids are gonna enjoy that with some graham crackers. The last thing we're gonna do before we watch this ocean front, not quite ocean front, but we're gonna watch this sunset here on the porch. So what we're gonna do is pour some apple cider into our pot. I'm gonna be using a mulling spice blend that I got with cinnamon, orange peel, allspice, clove, and ginger. And then we'll put that in some cups for the kids to sip on. This smells so good. It makes the house smell amazing, and it's such a treat to have in the fall. These sweater weather treats are ready for my kids to dig in. They've been patiently waiting. The cider is mulled and the balls are rolled. Here we go. Let's dig in, guys. We are gonna cozy up and enjoy this beautiful sunset happening behind us. I thought it would be fun to share a few of the highlights from our Oregon coast trip to Newport. So on our way, we ran into rainy weather. There's the old American flag waving in all of her glory. We also crossed the Yaquina Bridge, which was just beautiful. That was our first real glimpse of the Pacific Ocean on this trip. We crossed this bridge to head down to South Beach, which is where we reserved our Airbnb. We reserved this particular Airbnb because it had a garage. Unfortunately, it did not have beach access, so we did have to drive about 3 to 4 miles away to go access the public South Beach beach access, which also happens to be an area linked to their campground, so you have public camping access. Now you have to remember when you're visiting the West Coast beaches that you need to dress warm because the wind off of the ocean and the mist from the ocean can be quite cooling. You may want to take a hat with you to protect your ears from the wind. You definitely want to layer up so that you are well protected from the elements. Often it is wise to wear muck boots or some kind of waterproof boots if you want to be down by the water, but some of my kids prefer to go barefoot, and we encourage that here to do a little bit of grounding with the ocean and the sand. And we had such a lovely time climbing the dunes and just hanging out, spending time together before Ryker's big race. We found this nice log and made ourselves comfortable to watch the surfing, the horses, and the kids.
What is it? What is it? Oh, they're beautiful. They are beautiful.
Wow. The mountain bike race was held at the community college in Newport. Well, not at the community college, but there are trails there, and that is where this particular race was held. It was a rainforest type course with really wet, slippery roots, so you had to be super careful. This was a course that Ryker nor I have ever had experience on before, and I went out with the moms the day prior and did a practice lap with all the other moms that ride mountain bikes, and I tell you what, it was treacherous, and I definitely had some concerns about my son racing the next day. He did crash twice, but he managed to finish the race in one piece, and that made my mama heart so happy. After the race, we tied up the weekend with a lovely meal out, and we'll be headed back to town on Monday. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video.